Shalom, and welcome to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul, your Biblical Hebrew podcast. Shalom and welcome to our Biblical Hebrew podcast. The Torah starts with Bereshit. Bereshit starts with the letter Bet. That its value is 2. The question is why the Torah starts with Bereshit, with the letter Bet, with duality, and not with the one. The same question that we ask now, 1,000 years before us, asked Rashi, a Hebrew-French scholar. Rashi says about the word Bereshit that the Torah should have started with the first commandment that contains the word Anochi, here I am. Vertical, impersonal, divine presence, and not with Bereshit. According to Rashi, the Torah should have started with this first commandment, with Aleph, with the infinite, with the one, with the source. So again, the question remains, why to start with duality? Why to start with 2? And the answer is simple. The Torah starts its story, so to speak, from our perspective, those who live in space and time, those that are conditional objects. So the Torah starts with our perspective. The Torah starts with the finite, with the 2, with the Bet, and goes in a way in an opposite course to the one, to the first commandment. So the question is again why? And the answer remains to tell us the story from our perspective. It would be interesting just to think in the following dimension, that Bereshit is basically the letter Z, the last letter in the English alphabet, and Anochi, the first commandment, is the letter A. So we are reading, in a way, the story from the end to the start, and not as we think. This is why many people are mistaken and taking the story of the Bible as historical fact. A little example is the following story. People sitting at home, husband and wife, and so to speak, speaking about the fact that they would like to be parents or to conceive a child, and where would they like to live, grow this child, what kind of future will he have. They are making plans. Many people are sitting those days on the couch of the women's doctor, and they wait for fertility treatment, so to speak, because they would like to be parents or to have another child, or they would like to have twins, and they go to the clinic because they think that they would like to have a child. But the fact is the opposite. The question is, what is the opposite to the story that we have heard so far? Because we tend to think that I would like to get a job, this is why I apply for this job. Or I would like to be a parent or to become a parent, and this is what people doing the necessary steps to become parents or to have, in brackets, children. But this is not how it goes. So how does it go? Certain objects need to be in space and time. Let's say Mozart. He has to create or to bring with him a new musical concept. Therefore, divinity took care of the most prominent conditions that will create Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, meaning the thought of creation. There was a need to create this, so to speak, lifespan called Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Therefore, all the steps along the way followed to create such a person. In other words, this is not a personal thought. Again, people thinking, discussing in dinner table that they would like to become parents or to have children. They think it's their idea, but it's not. There is a need that a child will be born in such and such day, that his destination, so to speak, is to be a great writer. And since there is a thought or demand for this appearance of this great writer in space and time, his deliverance parents are thinking they would like to have a child. So first there is the arrow, there's a target, and then there's a bow. And the parents, in a way, or their will, is irrelevant. In other words, the child that's supposed to be born, this writer, has a destination. And since his parents are traveling in a car to this destination that will supply the needs to bring up this kind of talent, they will be the carrier or the gate for this child to come. And what people tell themselves, it's about a love story between father and mother, or a romance, or any kind of circumstances of a birth of a child or relationship between people. What terms the relation is basically the destination. So if the writer needs to have a knowledge in different languages and experience different culture while he is quite young at age, he will probably be delivered by parents who are exposed according to the law of determination to different culture, languages, and lifestyles. This child, he is like taking a lift, is taking a hike on, so to speak, on his parents' vehicle, and by driving their car, he's being exposed with them to what, or to the landscape that later, so to speak, in time will be a great meadow for his voice, or to his narrator voice in his books. In other words, nobody has a choice, not the parents, not the child, not the readers of this future literature. Nobody has a choice. Everything had been already determined by a higher source. And this is the message that comes with the word Bereshit. Everything has been planned and executed, and we are just witnessing the story, or we are witnessing the movie. This is the story about the word Bereshit from a divine perspective. Shalom and lovely week. Thank you for listening to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul, your Biblical Hebrew podcast. For more information, articles, videos, and interactive classes, please visit hebrew.learnoutlive.com or join our YouTube channel. Shalom v'chol tov.